No, you're not.
Nothing shy about you, Suave.
What's your name?
My name is Suave Gonzalez.
That is his name.
It's a unique name. You can't forget it. I don't know where I should start.
At the beginning.
Explain why you have the Superman painted on.
Yeah, I want to know that too.
That's all.
You know,
I'm going to start at the beginning. My name is Suave Gonzalez, and I was 16 years old when I stood in front of a judge, and I was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Life without parole. At the age of 16, IQ of 56, didn't know how to read or write. I ended up in Gratisville prison because I played by the code of the streets and I didn't want to snitch on somebody, so they gave me the case. And I went to prison. I spent 7 years in solitary confinement, taught myself how to read, wrote 5 books. Ghost wrote about 15 books for a couple of writers. Got my GED, got my associate's degree, bachelor's degree from Villanova. Got out the hole, solitary confinement. I said, you know what, I want to do something with my life. Even if I'm in prison serving life, I want to be a decent human being. So I started a scholarship that we raised thousands and thousands of dollars from inside the prison to give scholarships to children of incarcerated guys. And people was like kind of laughing at me, like, why are you doing this? You never going home. And I'm like, you know, I just want to be prepared in case one day the law changed, I'll be prepared. In 2012, Supreme Court ruled that you cannot keep a juvenile in prison for life. So I automatic, the city, former DA challenged it. We had to wait another 5 years. They made it retroactive. I came home November 20th, 2017. So I came home, thank you. And it was kind of hard for me because I had no resources. My family died, but I knew how to read and write. I knew how to tell a story. So I started researching what podcasts means and what it was. Somebody gave me a form that I still got. And I do got an iPhone, so don't laugh. But I was like, man, I could use this phone to really inspire people. So I decided that I wanted to create a podcast. And I created my own podcast, just telling my story. It took me about 2 years to get it, because I ain't no technology. So we released it, and it debuted to about 1.8 million downloads. First episode. So I was like, what does that mean? I don't know. So I'm still researching. Next thing you know, we get a phone call from the International Documentary Awards, which is like the IDA, it's like the podcast, it's like the Oscars of podcasts. Only 2 people in Philadelphia won it, myself and Quest. So, and I was like, I'm not really chasing no awards, because I'm kind of shy. So, the podcast just took a life of its own. And in May, I get a phone call. I'm at my job at community college, and I see the president coming to the office, and I was like, I'm fired. Anytime the president of the school goes to your office, it's like, you did something wrong. So I was like, what did I do wrong? I'm going through the process. And he's like, did you see CNN? Yeah, I was like, what happened? I know I ain't do nothing wrong to be on CNN. He said, no, you just won the Pulitzer Award. I was like, huh? Yeah. You can clap for that? Yeah. You can clap for that? And I didn't even know what it was. So I had to research it. And I was like, wow. So a couple of weeks ago, I walked to New York, Columbia University, to accept it. And it was funny because my name is like, sounds like Suave. Who named their kid Suave? Well, my mom did. So I get up there, and my question was to the president of Columbia University, you mean to tell me that since 1917, when these awards was established, nobody incarcerated was able to win this award to now? And he just looked at me, he said, what did you mean? I said, I think Mandela had a great book. That's one of the books that inspired me. He should have got it. But I'm honored to be the first formerly incarcerated person to ever win that Pulitzer Award. Because it shows transformation. It shows that we are more than our words and statements. It shows that we belong. And it's easy to forget today that I spent 31 years in a prison cell. Because I get to travel, I get to talk to the governor of California, got a couple of people to come home. But at the end of the day, I'm in Philadelphia, which a lot of work still needs to be done. And if anybody knows anything about parole and probation in Philadelphia, we have probably 275,000 ex-offenders in this city alone. But the thing that we have in this city is that other cities don't have is voting power. I'm going to say that again, voting power. I was able to vote 30 days after I came home. And I wondered, you know, like, if we had somebody that had resources for us, how smooth that transition would have been. Because it wasn't easy for me. I went back to prison a year to the day I was home. They just took me back for something I didn't do. The lucky part for me was that I was working at the 25th district, so they had cameras. I was like, I gotta get the cameras to the parole. And it took 3 months to do that.
Wow.
So, not too long ago, I get a phone call from my friend Cynthia. She's here. She said, the judge wanted me, you gotta go see the judge. I was like, judge? I said, last time I saw a judge, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. So she's like, no, you gotta go see the judge. And I was like, oh my God. I'm all types of crazy stuff going to my mind. What the heck I'm gonna tell the judge? So, you know, same way you research me, I research her.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, I'm in media, I do media, so I research, I was like, oh, this is kind of fly. So I go in there, and I was blown away by what I saw. I sat in the courtroom first, and watched her go to work. I was like, huh? Man, I should have been standing in front of her when they brought me here. But the bottom line is that we need people that understand the people, where we come from. I don't come from the suburbs, I come from North Philadelphia, A from Butler. If anybody know anything about A from Butler, then, you know, that's where I come from. So, for me to be involved in doing this work, because today I am the support coach overseer of the I Am More program at Community College. What that means is, anybody that's coming home that's been impacted by the system, they can come to me and I will get them in college. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's my job.
Ooh.
Almost. I ain't gonna say that. But again, so I was just having a conversation with the judge, and for everybody got a phone interview, y'all better listen to that interview we just did with her. It dropped last night.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
It's on Apple, Death by Incarceration, look it up. And I was just telling her, like, we not only changing life, we are contributing to the public safety of the city. When we give people opportunities to have a better life, that's what we get. You know, and for me, I know how it is, because I'm still on lifetime parole. I'm gonna say that again. I'm still on lifetime parole. If I spit on the floor and it hit your shoes and you be like, oh, he spit on my shoe, you get me locked up. Exactly. I was taken back to prison because my ex-wife said she saw me in Delaware and I was at the 25th district. That was like the only time that I said, oh my God, I love the police. I kid you not, because they had that tape, But it's that easy. And I was trying to tell parole, like, yo, I wasn't there, I was here. Well, we don't want to hear it, you did it because your past. I was like, whoa. That was my first arrest, what past? It was like, you was in prison for this. I was so traumatized that I thought to commit suicide when I went back. Because I came home, and I was doing everything that they asked me to do.
It's okay, bro.
So for me, doing this work is personal. And I ask everybody that's watching live on Facebook, we need to support her. And when I mean support, I mean support. The same way we support all them name brands and all them rappers, we need to support the people that's taking care of our people and our community. Because if we don't, it could be your son, it could be your daughter ending up in prison. And if you're thinking that I committed a crime, you're wrong. I went to prison because I didn't want to snitch on somebody else. And 31 years later, they found the statement that the police identified somebody else.
The Neoliberal Round podcast, and that was just Suave, who just spoke. Powerful story. We'll be right back after these messages.